happy day.
Happy Sabbath.
Sabbath school yako nje, happy Sabbath. Happy day. Hii ni diaspora. Hii ni Sabbath ya diaspora. US. Ya Kenya. So leo bana. Wakati mwingine ambapo tutaendelea na mafundisho. Wakati wa mafundisho sasa tunafanya nini? Nasikiano? Nyamaza wakati wa mafundisho. So bila kupoteza muda tena tutapata ombi kisha tuweze kuanza mafundisho kwa siku ya leo. Tuamini tuombe. Mtakatifu wewe Mwenyezi Mungu, Muumba wa mbingu na nchi, uhimidiwe na utukuzwe milele. Asante kwa wema wako na fadhili zako, kwa maana unatupenda. Sabato yako takatifu umeweza kutuleta miguuni pako ili tuweze kuisikia sauti yako. Sisi wote tukiwa ni wanafunzi wako, basi nena pamoja na nafsi zetu tuweze kuisikia sauti yako maadamu pana muda wa kuisikiliza. Tena utuongoze tuweze kuikubali sauti hiyo, tuenende katika njia hiyo na tufanye yaliyo mapenzi yako. Tuepushe na mitego ya mwovu shetani sasa na hata milele. Jina lako litukuzwe. Hili ndilo ombi letu kwa imani kupitia jina takatifu la Yesu Kristo aliye Bwana mkombozi wetu.
Amen.
Kwa hivyo darasa ambayo imepita tulikuwa tumeanza kusoma kuhusu Samson, and we said it was Samson Samson part 1. No. So because next Sabbath I will not be here, ile Sabbath nyingine itakuwa mbali sana. Tuendelee tu. So tuendelee tu na part 2. So for the sake of those who are not in the first class, we mentioned that Samson was actually one of the judges. Sindio? Judge?
Mhukumu.
Kwa Kiswahili muamuzi. Alikuwa mmoja wa waamuzi wa wapi? Wa Israeli. In fact, he was one of the powerful judges that ever existed in Israel. And we have several chapters just talking about Samson. So the life of Samson is critical to every Seventh-day Adventist. And as we studied in part 1, ni ya kwamba the life of Samson talks about the history and life of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. So how Samson lived, the decisions Samson made is a reflection of the life of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. And just like Samson, we saw he had some unions ambazo they were ungodly. At First, there was a Philistine woman. That was 14 verse 1. Or what chapter was it? It was Judges, Joshua, then Judges. So Judges, chapter 14 verse 1. So it's a time that Samson unites with a Philistine woman against the commandment of God, which is in Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 1 to 4. However, God uses it for an occasion against the Philistines, and God allows that union. As much as in Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 1 to 4, he had not accepted such kind of union. Secondly, he goes ahead and unites with another what? Harlot. See here? That is chapter 16, verse 1. Judges, chapter 16, verse 1. Samson again goes and unites with another harlot. And in 1 Corinthians, chapter 3, from verse 16 downwards, and also chapter 6, verse 16 downwards, we find that whoever is joined to a harlot, they become one body. See here? So, not necessarily the physical aspect of it. Kwamba a physical man and a physical woman uniting, but also in relation or in reflection to the church of God. Church of God. When the church of God unites ama inaposhikana na miunganiko za kidunia, they become one body. So they reason together, they make judgment together. So unfortunately, it did not end there. Samson continued further with association with who? Delilah, who was still a Philistine. And we see that the life of Samson is actually shaken by this woman who is called now who? Delilah. So, as we speak about Delilah, there's a book, Patriarchs and Prophets, 566, paragraph 1. Patriarchs and Prophets, 566, paragraph 1. I'll read very fast so that we save on time. PP 566.1. It says, day by day, Delilah urged him. Now, what did we say the life of Samson represents? It is the life of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. And these apostate women, these women from the nations, represent who? The churches of the world. The unions of the world. The religious unions of the world. In prophecy, what does a woman represent? Church. So these are religious bodies, but apostate religious what? Bodies. Okay? They are from the nations. They practice idolatry. They practice the ways of the nations. So, the Seventh-day Adventist Church in the life of Samson is illustrated being or uniting with the apostate churches. And not just any other church, but the Laodicean church, which is the church of today. So kanisa la Laodikia leo hii imeonekana ikifanya miunganiko na miunganiko ya kidunia, either directly or indirectly. The World Council of Churches, the National Council of Churches of Kenya, the UN, foreign relations, all those things, either directly or indirectly. And in this union, the relationship has been softened. There's no boundary. Okay? So if there's no boundary, Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 1 to 4 tells us that whenever that kind of union happens, who changes the other? Is it the true church that will change the apostate church? No. It is the apostate church that will do what? Will change the true church. When Samson met Delilah, who eventually overcame the other? Is it Samson who managed to control Delilah, or it is Delilah who managed to control Samson? It is Delilah. Now, if you go to Patriarchs and Prophets, page 566, paragraph 1, it says, day by day, Delilah urged him until his soul was vexed unto what? Death. So it was it just a one-time occasion? No. It was day by day, trying to ask him politely, yeah? Trying and trying and trying. Eventually, Samson gave out his secrets. The same way, he gave out the secrets of the 7 locks of hair. 7 locks in our time today, representing the Sabbath in our time. While Samson gave out the 7 locks of the hair secret, the church of today will give out what? The Sabbath day. This is the secret that holds the Adventist church. And it is the sign between God and his people. This one we've read time and again. The book of Ezekiel, chapter
20, verse 12.
20, verse 12. Also verse 20. And also which other book?
Exodus.
Exodus 31, verse 13. Downwards. So this is the symbol. This is the sign between God and his people. This was the sign between God and Samson. So when Samson eventually gave out the symbol, when he left it out and gave it out to the Philistines, what followed next was the glory of God departed. So glory departed. Similarly, when the Adventist church, the current one, when at the third angel's message, the proclamation of the National Sunday Law, they will give out the Sabbath. The GC plus the Protestant churches of America and the Protestant churches of the world, they help US come into passing a law, the National Sunday Law. When the GC and the other Protestant churches unite and urge the government to pass this law, it means they have already surrendered what? The Sabbath. And that is the 7 locks of hair. So when they will have shaved and they have become naked on their head, they have removed the covering. They have removed the wall that protected them. The law of God is made void. Once they do it, glory of the Lord at this point departs from the General Conference and the churches under what? General Conference. Why? Because we said the Seventh-day Adventist Church is simply a what? It's an organization, right? And if it is an organization, it operates within some structures. Kuanzia the head going downwards. Sindio? And it is the headquarters that decides for the rest of the churches. So when the eye of the church, of the organization, the GC is like the eye of the organization. If it is blinded, then the whole body becomes dark or blinded. Okay? So, in short, once the church gives up the Sabbath, which it will do, Sylvia? Yes. And it will even go further. And it will even go further to proclaim it in the pulpits and in camp meetings. Sylvia? We read that quotation time and again. Which quotation is that? Review and Herald. 18th March. Right? 18? Paragraph?
Sign for time.
Signs of the times.
4 or 5.
4 or 5. So you can start from paragraph 1. So signs of times, page 405, paragraph 1 and 2. Review and Herald, date 18th March, 1884, paragraph 8. Which says that in these last days, men in responsible position will take a stand opposite to that which you took. Nehemiah. Sindio? So what did Nehemiah do?
Nehemiah was proclaiming against
Nehemiah existed when they were coming out of captivity. Sindio? And what did he do back in Jerusalem? He was rebuilding what?
The walls.
The walls. The temple. The laws of God, the walls that were broken down, he was now putting them up again. See? To rebuild. He was rebuilding because they were broken down. So in these last days, men in responsible position in the church will take a course opposite to that of Nehemiah. So if Nehemiah was rebuilding the walls, now men in responsible position, the GC leaders, the elders of the churches, the pastors, the conferences heads, men in responsible position, taking a course against Nehemiah. So instead of rebuilding the wall, they will be destroying the walls. They will be breaking down. So the Sabbath day is one of the laws. So it will be given up. But before it is given up, just like for Delilah, he made sure Samson was drunk. Samson got drunk. The same way, we said another example was where? In Numbers chapter 24. What happened in Numbers 24? The Jews were about to cross River Jordan. The Jews were about to cross River Jordan, but here they met apostate women. Which apostate women? Moabites. And the Moabites, here, the 7 locks are given up. For the Seventh-day Adventist Church, the law of God, Sabbath, is given up. For Numbers chapter 24, before they crossed River Jordan, the second law was given up. So they started worshiping idols and practicing idolatry.
Yeah.
But just before practicing idolatry, the Moabitish women ensured these people had eaten and drunk. And it was a big feast. Wakawa wamelevya. They were so drunk. The senses had been benumbed. And now, when they had enjoined themselves to women, number one, they had defiled the temple of God by drunkenness. Eventually, when the law of God, it was coming to break the law of God, was it so difficult for them to break? Similarly, for Samson, when he had constantly enjoined herself to apostate women, her character was drowning and drowning day by day. And when the final decision came, it was so easy. He gave up these principles. Similarly, for the SD organization, giving up the Sabbath day or the law will not just come at once. There must be a series of what? Giving up. There must be a series showing that they have been tested, and in smaller tests, they have failed. They must show that they have united with the churches of the world. They have eaten and drunk from Jezebel's table. Mafundisho ambayo kwa sasa hivi yako katika makanisa. Do you find messages that call people to repentance and prophecies being proclaimed? Do you find that in the Seventh-day Adventist Church anymore? They are not there. Do you find the 3 angels' message being proclaimed every Sabbath from the pulpit? These are the messages of the time, present truth messages. But they are nowhere. So if there's no present truth message, kama hakuna chakula ambacho kimeiva kwa meza, what are people eating? In fact, it is vomit. Yes. People are not being fed the food for the hour. They are being fed food ambayo haijaiva. Yes. And if you eat constantly food that is not well prepared, ukikula kila wakati chakula ambayo haijaiva vizuri, are you putting your life at risk, or your life will even become more healthy?
You are at risk.
So you're putting your life at risk. Yes. So that is what is happening. So as they give up the Sabbath, we must find that they pass through a series of giving up and draining themselves to women, to the churches of the world, the Protestant churches of the world. And that is why nowadays you find katika makanisa ya Kisabato, even the pastors don't want to preach prophecy. Why? Because it is attacking other churches. It is attacking Catholic Church. It is attacking Sunday keeping churches. It is attacking Islam. And they no longer want to be attacking other churches. So if you don't want to attack, you want to be Friends. So if they are friends, then whoever is preaching, they must silence that person, because that person is bringing division. But the Lord was very clear. He said no union at all. In fact, finish them. Remove them out of the way. What the Seventh-day Adventist churches was supposed to be doing now is not uniting with the churches of the world. It was supposed to be destroying the principles of these churches. And how did they destroy? By using what? The word of God. The word of God. They were to preach against all these principles. Yeah? Because the name of the Lord is being inachafuliwa, and the people of God who are the depository of His laws are watching. Okay? So instead of uniting, they were supposed to be proclaiming the truth. What does Isaiah 58 verse 1 and 2. Is it 58 or 59? Cry aloud.
Spare not.
Spare not. Lift up thy voice like a what?
Trumpet.
And show what?
Show my people
Their situation.
And the house of Jacob
their sins.
Cry aloud, spare not. So it is not time of sparing. And in the three angels' message, we see that these angels are sounding the trumpet with loud voices. As much as the second angel is not written in loud voice, but does it mean that the message by the second angel's message is with a low tone? That it is not supposed to be heard? It is a message that is supposed to be heard in the whole world. As much as it does not say with a loud voice, but this is a very urgent message. It is to be known. It is to be proclaimed with power as well. So all these messages are very urgent, very strong, very powerful, and needful to be known. So we are commanded to cry aloud and spare not. So the Seventh-day Adventist Church should be crying aloud against the principles in these other churches. Because if those principles are destroyed, these churches will see the light and they will come to the light. But like the life of Samson, he gave out his power, just like the Seventh-day Adventist Church will eventually give out the Sabbath secret. And at this point is when now we shall experience the total fall. Here, at the second angel's message, there are some asubuhi tulisomewa, sindio? And there was some quotation like 4SP 232.2, which says that this one talks about the church that was once pure, not the Roman Catholic Church, not the Sunday keeping churches, because they cannot be qualified as pure. They do not observe the Sabbath. So it relates to the Sabbath keeping churches, the Seventh-day Adventist Church. And again, as much as we have that 4SP, it means that when this message is being sounded, fallen, it is calling people to come out of those, the fallen structures. Jeremiah 51 verse 6. Okay? Yes. But if the message is not hidden, now this being a moral fall, here, when they finally give out their secret, this one becomes a what? A total 4. But now, as much as the ship sinks, there are few who will have managed to do what? To jump out. Happy Sabbath?
Happy day.
Happy day?
Happy Sabbath.
As much as the ship will sink, will it sink with everyone? No. There are few who will jump out. What name will you give the few who will jump out? The remnant. And those who will sink with the ship shall be enjoined fully to
The Babylon.
Babylon. Samson. Now we are continuing with part 2. Now just joined. So Samson, immediately the glory departed, he was taken to the next step by the Philistines, where his eyes were done what? They were removed. They were gouged out. And Samson became blind. Will you continue seeing once your eyes have been gouged out? So he became what? Blind. So which other person had his eyes removed? Okay? Zedekiah, sindio? He was a king.
Yeah.
In what siege?
Second siege.
The second siege.
The second siege. Yeah. So in the second siege, King Zedekiah had his eyes removed. Okay? And his eyes were removed at a time when Babylon was taking over Judah. Now completely. Were the walls of Judah spared?
No.
The walls of Judah were not spared here in the second siege. They were broken down. The Sabbath in this second siege, it was totally broken down. And the eyes were gouged out. What do eyes represent?
Prophecy.
Eyes. Happy Sabbath.
Happy day.
Austin. Macho na simamia. Kuona. Yeah, it's true. Sinasimamia kuona. Yeah? Inasimamia kuona. And they understood that once they get rid of the Sabbath, they have completely managed them out. Sindio? Aya. There's a quotation. Is it 4? What is this? 2 BC. What is BC? It's Bible commentary. So, Bible commentary, page 1007. The Bible commentary, 1007. .4. 2 BC 1007.4, it says, Philistines, is somebody there? Philistines, knowing divine law. It means the Philistines knew what?
The divine law.
They knew the law of God. Watched Samson. Do the Sunday keeping churches know about the Sabbath day?
Yes.
Does the Roman Catholic Church know about the true Sabbath day?
Yes.
So do they know the law of God? Yes. There is knowing it and there is keeping it. You can know something and don't keep. Unaweza jua kitu lakini usifanye. Judy, happy Sabbath. Happy day. Hivi ndio Islam. You can know something but it does not necessarily mean you will do it. Si ndio? Si unaweza jua kitu lakini haimaanishi utaifanya. Lakini unaweza ijua na uifanye. Hizo ni vitu mbili tofauti. So, the Philistines, knowing divine law, watched Samson. The Philistines were well acquainted with the divine law. Naposema well acquainted, ni mtu ambaye anaijua ndani na nje. Unajua tangu watoke Misri, everyone, all the nations knew about Israel. Yeah? Everyone knew about Israel. Since their departure from Egypt. How they conquered Jericho without even fighting. Mighty Jericho. Who could not have known about Israel? Yeah? The 7 big nations, the Girgashites, Hittites, Hivites, Amorites, who could not have known about Israel? Everyone knew about what? Israel. Even in later days, wakati wa Samuel, the Philistines knew that if you want to conquer Israel, we take away what? Their covenant, their Ark of Covenant. Sindio? Yes. They understood. So it says, the Philistines were well acquainted with the divine law and its condemnation of sensual indulgence. They knew that the divine law condemned sensual indulgence, yani kuingia katika mambo ya kujifurahisha kimwili. They knew that it prohibited this drunkenness. Even in Galatians chapter 5 it says the drunkards shall not inherit what? Kingdom of heaven. Among other vices. So they knew it condemned. They kept a vigilant watch over all the movements of their enemy. And when he degraded himself, they didn't degrade him. He degraded himself. And when he degraded himself by this new attachment, they saw the bewitching power of the enchantress. They determined through her to accomplish his ruin. The next line says, Samson deliberately walked into the net of the betrayer. Did somebody force Samson to be united with Delilah? No. In fact, even in the Jewish culture, it was not allowed. So, no one could be encouraging Samson, please go and unite with Delilah. She is a very lovely woman. No one would and no one would encourage the Seventh-day Adventist Church to unite with the churches of the world. No one in the Sabbath-keeping people would encourage. But the GC, together with the SD organization, deliberately joins hands with the Protestant churches, and eventually it will bring her own form. The same case, Daniel chapter 6. The case of Daniel and Medo-Persia. Sindio? When the government leaders in Medo-Persia knew that they could not set up Daniel, what did they seek to do? In the law of his own womb, God. They knew that this person we can't. He is a blessed man. Balaam and Balak. These people are a blessed people. There's no way you can overcome them unless you make them disobey the law of their own God. And that is the same it is the same pattern, Simon. It is the same pattern. This Seventh-day Adventist, it is a blessed church. Okay? You can't break it unless you find an occasion for it to disobey the law of their own God. And let them disobey. They will bring condemnation to themselves, and that is what will happen. They will be pampered. And an example happened here during the COVID crisis. The church was given a grant. It was given some money. And said, let your churches be centers where we could poison people. Kill your people. With the COVID vaccines. Let them be points. Close your churches. There's a grant for you. And because the GC leaders are gluttonous, and because our church leaders love money, would anyone reject that offer? No, they accepted. And that's what happened at the second angel's message during the COVID crisis. The church gave up its power because of gluttony, because of lust after money. Similarly, here, definitely must be pampered. This union will bring these advantages. One world order, everyone will be benefited with all this. Our education systems shall benefit also your people. Times are hard, economy is hard. Your people shall be benefited. We shall give them donations and so on. Who will reject that offer? No one. So they will go after the offers. And just like Esau and Jacob, they will trade their identity with a bowl of lentils. They will trade their identity cheaply. And in fact, when these things are happening, I don't know, if you're trading something so great, the price must be so high, isn't it? But unfortunately for the Church of God, any occasion of trading, they trade at a very big loss. Let's look at Judas when he was. I'm sure where the devil is, hata yeye anakuwa surprised. I thought it would be so expensive, but it is so cheap like this. At a throwaway price. Susan. Yani unaenda kununua kiatu. It is the most fashioned shoe. Imekuja kwa soko. Umejipanga na 1000 zako 3. Unajua hii kiatu hii. Hii kama ni chini. Hii ni 3500. Kufika unamuuliza ni pesa ngapi? Hii ni 500 lakini tunaweza ongea bado. Sasa si hata utashuku. Is this really original? Sindio? Is this really original ama it's a fake one? Yeah? Because it is so surprising at a very, very cheap price. And that is what happens here. So the glory departs. Once the Adventist Church gives up her Sabbath, the glory departs here like lightning. Immediately. Once they accept. And it departs with these people. Who? The remnant. Just like Lot was walking out of Sodom step by step, and behind Lot, Sodom and Gomorrah, fire and brimstone was raining upon Sodom. The same way, when the remnant shall be walking out of this totally fallen church, judgment shall fall upon her. She will be left desolate. Okay, it does not necessarily mean, that the doors of the church will be closed. No. Services will continue as usual. But void of the Holy Spirit. It's void. Because now the remnant will be bitter rivals of the mainstream church. Bitter rivals. They can't work together anymore. So the glory departs. The eyes are taken out. The eyes, the spirit of prophecy will totally be taken out from the church. The best gift ever given after Sabbath is the spirit of prophecy. It will be taken out. Their silver will become dross. We'll go with the remnant. The eyes will be gouged out. But now, at the end of Samson's life, he seeks mercy from the Lord. And he says, Lord, please remember me for this one last time. So who shall God remember for the last time to give them the last power to destroy the world? It is who? The remnant. Did Samson receive his last power?
Yes.
What shall the remnant receive at this point? The
Latter.
Is it a small power?
No.
It is the last and final what?
Power.
So they will receive the seal of God. In fact, for Samson, the hairs started growing again. The Sabbath shall be remembered upon the remnant. And that wall which forms the seal will go together with the remnant. And God will remember his people for the last time. He will give them the last power to proclaim the last message. And no one will ever stop this last force. Eh? As we finish, Daniel chapter 11, verse around the last two verses.
44 and 45.
44 and 45. 44 and 45. You can read that as we close. Daniel chapter 11. Daniel is after Ezekiel.
Yeah.
Daniel 11 verse 44 and 45 it says,
But news from the east,
but the tidings or news out of
East
the east
and out of the north
and out of the north
shall trouble him.
Therefore,
He shall go forth with a great fury.
therefore, this is papacy, shall go forth with a great fury
To destroy
to destroy.
and other to make away many.
So, who is he interested to annihilate? We say the word is annihilate, isn't it? The character of the Jesuits. So, he will go out to annihilate these people who are bringing tidings out of the east and out of
The north. And he shall plant the tabernacle
and he shall plant the tabernacles
of his palaces between the seas in the glorious holy mountain.
between the seas in the glorious holy mountain.
Yet he shall come to his end,
Yet the papacy power shall come to his end,
and none shall help him.
none shall. This power that comes out of here is a great force. And it's talking about tidings. Tidings from where?
From east
East
and north.
and north. What did we say tidings from the east mean? Which message is this?
It's about the
The second
coming
coming
of Adventist.
as lightning
As-
strikes from the east to west. See you?
Yeah,
So that shall be the second
coming.
second coming. Message about the second coming. Preparing the way. The message of John the Baptist. And what about the message of the north? It's about what?
It's about God.
It's about?
Judgment.
Okay, it's about God.
Yeah.
God's seat is in the north.
North side.
But when God has a seat in the north, it means he is sitting there as a
Judge.
So the message that comes as a judgment message means, if thou or you shall worship the beast or his image, or receive his mark, you shall also receive of the plagues of who? They are proclaiming the judgment. But again, they are also preparing the second car. They are inviting people, come out of her, join this flock, which is preparing for the second coming of who? Christ. So the remnant represents the last power of Samson, because the last power of Samson, the Bible records that he destroyed many at that time than he had ever destroyed during his lifetime. The work the remnant are going to do here, the proclamation of the loud cry, until we come to the universal Sunday law, the closing of probation of the whole world, when the whole world stoppable force. Our time is up. But you can see in the life of Samson, the life of the church.
The judge.
Umeelewa jana? Umeona kwa maisha ya Samson, ile maisha ya kanisa ikaenda. Hivyo tu. The life of Samson